Now you know it's London particular when you can stand your spoon in it, and yes, more or less you can stand your spoon in this. So I've topped it with a little bit of ham and some spring onion, so cheers. That is delicious. I can't tell you how delicious that is. Catch me in the act of browning some bacon in a little bit of oil. For the soup I'm about to make. Now, I should have been organised and I wasn't. This was frozen, this bacon. It was frozen, but I put it into little pieces and I popped it in my pan, as you can see, and I'm just going to wait for it to brown a bit. And while it's doing that, I'll tell you a little bit about what I'm making. I'm making something that is synonymous with the southeast area of England. It gets its name from a rather dense, yellowish, mustardy coloured fog, basically. We all know it as pea and ham soup, but it's actually known as London particular down in the southeast. Start with your bacon in a pan and brown it. Don't worry if the bottom of your pan gets a bit brown, that's where the flavour is, don't worry about it. Once you've browned your bacon, it's time to add onions and carrots. To my 4 rashers of streaky bacon, I'm going to add an onion, a large onion, and a large carrot. And we're going to pop all that in. I'm going to stick a little bit of water in to deglaze the bottom of the pan. Just saute for a little minute to get all the flavour off the bottom of the pan. I'm going to put the lid on for 5 minutes just to let it cook for a minute or two. This was sold on the streets of London for a very small fee during the 1800s, and it's still sold today in some restaurants. So Charles Dickens made it popular in his book The Bleak House. I'll just get my stock ready, and again I just want to say I haven't defrosted my stock, sorry guys. It's better. So I'm going to add a teaspoon of celery salt here into the mix. It does say to add about 3 stalks of celery, but I don't have any celery today, so celery salt it is. I'm going to add the split peas, and I've got a 500 gram bag of split peas. Now, it's not London particular if you use green split peas. You've got to use yellow split peas. Just pop them in, all of them. And give it a stir. And let's get the fats off the bacon and the flavours of the celery salt and the onions and carrots to amalgamate a little bit with the split pea. It gets its name obviously from the fog, and it's called London particular because it was particular to London, this particular fog, and it came up from the gas lights and the mills that were pumping out things in the area, and it never used to lift. It was terrible, it was really thick, and it looked sort of mustardy due to the gas lights shining away in the area. Not very nice, I wouldn't have thought, to live in. And once all that's sorted, what we need to do is add in our stock, and unfortunately mine's not defrosted, so I'm going to add it in. You need about 4 pints. I'm not quite sure what this is, I've got to be honest, how many pints it is. Looks like about 3. If you don't have ham stock on hand, this is from a ham joint I did last year. It's been in my freezer. If you don't have any on hand, then use ham stock cubes. And we need about 3 pints of it. A lot of soups are done by eye. You know, feel free to go from the norm is what I say. It's been around for since medieval times in one shape or another. As peas pottage or peas pudding. Up here in the north we've got something called peas pudding, which I'll make for you one day. Very, very similar to this, apart from it's a lot thicker. Used to be cooked on an open fire and then it went on to the ranges in the 1800s. It's starting to melt. I think I'll put the lid on and let it continue to melt away. There's a little nursery rhyme as well to it. Peas pudding hot, peas pudding cold, peas pudding in the pot, 9 days old. Because what they used to do was they'd take what they wanted from the pot and then they'd top it up on a daily basis with other ingredients. My stock has now dissolved and I'm waiting for it to come to the boil now. We're still a little bit there. And even looking at this now, it doesn't look like it's got enough fluid in for it. So I'm going to add some more. I don't want to add too much. And I'll keep an eye on it. Once your soup has come to the boil, you need to cook it as long as the packet instructions of the split peas say. And in my instance, that's 35 minutes, so I'm going to give it 35 minutes. If yours is longer, then give it longer. So Alexa, set your timer for 35 minutes.
35 minutes, starting now.
So my soup has finished cooking. As you can see, it's thickened up nicely. What it says to do now is transfer it to a food processor or use this hand blender and blend it all up. So give me a minute and I'll be back with you. I've transferred the soup to my mixer and I'm going to give it a whiz, okay? Now seemingly it's not proper London particular unless you can stand your spoon up in it. However, I like my soup a little bit thinner than that, so let's see. Time to taste it. Spoon. Well, it's thick anyway. Look at that. Lovely. It's hot. That's lovely. So this is my pea and ham soup, or London particular. Now you know it's London particular when you can stand your spoon in it, and yes, more or less you can stand your spoon in this. So I've topped it with a little bit of ham and some spring onion, so cheers. Do you know what that reminds me of? Baked beans, but saltier. That is delicious. I can't tell you how delicious that is. You can taste the ham, obviously, it's ham soup. And the peas just give it a fullness that you need and make it sort of stick to your ribs kind of stuff. I can see why it was cooked a lot back in the day, because it's filling, it's cheap and it's nutritious. It's all you need. If you like what I'm doing, hit me up with a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and my videos will be sent to your inbox so that you know that I've made one. Leave a comment below and let me know if you actually make this. If you don't, give it a try and let me know how you get on. Anyway, for now, thanks for watching and I'll see you in my next video. Liz out.